This is the Pete and Sebastian Show with Pete Correale and Sebastian Maniscalco.
Pete and Sebastian Show. We're back, and a lot of good comments. Sebastian Maniscalco. You know, we got a lot of young kids, you know, especially young guys that we're guiding. Rightfully so. I mean, come on, we got a lot to teach.
Bro, if I had this show when I was a kid. Right? I mean, my parents would have thanked us. Like, I'm surprised more parents don't go, hey, I couldn't be there for my kids, but you were.
You know what? I mean, we're getting a lot of thanks for being there during the pandemic. I'm waiting for a thanks for raising my kid. Not only that, we're so knowledgeable helping these young kids out. I'm surprised some of them aren't even coming out of the bedroom after listening to us and you know, correcting their parents. Like, like going, Dad, you know, you're supposed to tip after that. Yeah.
Oh, God. Okay, let me set the table here for the listeners.
All right.
We're cranking out these podcasts like we're Stern in the 80s. I mean, that's how frequent we're doing this, right?
It's almost a daily morning show now, yeah. Even though this one's at night, but yeah.
Yeah, so it's at night, nearly 10 o'clock on the East Coast, 7 o'clock here on the West Coast. Nighttime cast. We haven't done this in a while, but every time the sun drops and we do a cast, we tend to have a little extracurricular activity going on. Now, we generally don't mix the juice with the career, but I felt, you know, I don't know, I had a long day. I'm going to be going on the road in a little bit. And I figured, why not pour a glass? Now, I got to tell you, just the opening of the bottle, I had a scenario happen to me just downstairs. When I go in the wine fridge and I look for my bottle that I'm going to drink for the evening, Lana and I often look and just kind of sift through. Hey, do I want to go to California? Do I want to jump over to Italy? Do I want to go to Australia? That's where I'm kind of sifting through the labels, right?
Really?
Yeah. Now, I belong to a wine club where I get 3 bottles of Cabernet sent monthly to the house.
Nice.
And generally, those bottles range in price between $35 and $70 a bottle. You know, not breaking the bank. It's, you know, decent prices. And they're from wine cellars.
By the way, dude, I stop. My mom doesn't get out of the car, and I go get a wine. I get 3 jugs of Yellowtail for like $9.99 each. Back to reality. $75 a bottle is that's what most people bring New Year's Eve, guy. All right.
Well, depending how serious you are in regards to wine,
right?
It's okay. Listen, all right. You want to relate it to your world? You ain't. Yellowtail is like skunk weed.
Oh,
right?
Don't even. If you're coming to my house and you say, I just got back from Mexico and I brought weed, I'll be like, you and your weed can get out of my house. You may as well bring mud in on your shoes than Mexican weed. It's got seeds, guy. It's got seeds. Okay. What is this, 1972? Fucking seeds? All right, continue. I'm told. Now I understand what you're saying. Thank you for putting it in context.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, and I don't know the dose. Like when you buy weed, I don't know like a bag, a fifth, or
all right. We don't have to stay on weed. I got it. All right. We go back to the regular one.
No. I want to stay on this for one second because
turn me into Tommy Chong over here.
In the weed world, like if a bottle of wine is give me the equivalent in the weed world to a bottle of wine in like how it's measured.
I'm you know, you would think I'd be better with that. There's two things I know: a sativa and an indica. I like the sativa, and I go in and I always go, "What's the strongest thing you got?" And then they go, "Well, it's really strong." I'll be like, "Just give it to me," and that's what they do.
But the amount, I'm talking the amount.
Well, what do you mean? Like an ounce of good weed?
An ounce. Yeah, like is an ounce a bottle of wine?
Oh, no. If someone came to my house and gave me an ounce, I'd be like, wow, bro, thank you. I'd say a nice solid joint for me on my own time. Not, hey, I got this for us for later, but hey, it's a little something for yourself.
Okay.
That's about the same.
Okay, and a joint costs how much?
A good joint will run you about 10 to 15. You get a nice pre-rolled one, fatty.
Okay. If I told you, Pete, I got a joint. I got it for $2.50. Would you look at that joint and go, hey, ain't good?
Yeah, I would wonder where you got it for $2.50. Yeah, that would be no good.
Yellowtail. Okay?
Really?
No, that's the equivalent.
That's the equivalent, but I thought, like, if I poured you a Yellowtail and I poured you a $75 bottle of wine, that you might not be able to know that the Yellowtail is...
I would know.
You would. I thought that one was so popular because it actually tastes more expensive, but I guess not.
That's what the people say to justify them spending $2.99 on the bottle, right?
$9.99, $9.99.
Whatever it is. Yeah. I know. And you hear this a lot. Well, the Trader Joe's 10, 15 years ago.
You get a good wine for $9.99, That's what I always heard. That's what I thought. Yeah. Says the guy who just bought me a $9.99 bottle of wine, right? Yeah. It's never the guy handing me a $150 Merlot going, I could get you something just as tasty for $10. Yeah. But I'm glad you didn't. Yeah, you're right. Good point, bro.
Good. All right. So I go Italy, right? And
of course.
I don't like Italian wines really. They're a little too dry for me. I actually prefer a Cabernet. So listen, I'm practically an expert when it comes to opening bottles of wine. I've done it for years at the Four Seasons, and I'm just over the pandemic, I basically perfected it, blindfolded. Right?
Right.
But I cracked the cork. I cracked the cork off this one. The cork was brittle.
Okay.
Generally speaking, that's not a good sign, right? You want it a little kind of moist. So I was kind of turned off already. And I poured a wine, and I want to show the listeners this. This is the beauty of video. I don't know if you could see it, but there is a drip from drying.
Yeah.
Right? It's ain't a clean glass, right?
I see that.
Now, and you can see also it's not washed properly. Now.
The wine's not?
No, the glass. The glass is, it's got a tint of like a fogginess to it, which if I was serving wine to people, what I do is I hold up the glass to the light before I even pour it, because the last thing I want to do as a host is sit there at the table and me noticed that your glass is dirty, but worse off, you go to drink it and you go, fucking, did he clean the glass?
Yeah.
To me, if I go to somebody's house and the wine glass looks like they dipped it in piss, okay?
Yeah.
I don't care if you're gonna give it. I don't care if you're gonna.
I'm just thinking, I can't help but picture most of my mom's wine glasses when you talk like that. Because she's Irish. I mean, dude, she'll have half a glass of wine and leave it out, go to bed, and then at 5 o'clock the next night when she starts a happy hour, I've seen her take the wine out of a glass and dump it back in the bottle.
Oh my God, bro.
So there's none of this meticulousness, which I'm as fascinated by.
Yeah, by the way, I was so into the wine just a minute ago. I don't know if you noticed. I had the microphone on my lap for that whole rant. Did you,
No, I didn't even know.
I don't even know if you're going to be able to hear what the hell I just said, but the microphone was resting on my lap. Anyway, I'm turned off by A, a cork, and B, a wine glass. Now I'm drinking it. I don't know. It's like, when you know those things happened mentally, does it screw up your taste buds when you're drinking it? Like if I got this at a restaurant,
right,
and I didn't know the cork broke and I didn't notice the wine glass was dirty, would my mind go, oh, no, this is a nice glass? Or if you know what happened prior to the wine and or food that comes to your table, does that affect your enjoyment?
Well, I mean, you got to be on some level of a wine critic. Like if you took the best wine critic on the planet, right? Wine connoisseur, sat him down, gave him two glasses, same wine, same year, same bottle. But one of them, the cork was dry when we opened it. Could he sip both and go, glass on the right was the dry cork?
Yeah.
Mind blown, right, bro?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. No,
it's mental. What you're talking, this is all mental. It's kind of like if you see milk out and it's still cold, but you don't know how long it's been sitting out, and you put it in your coffee, and you're like, I'm fucking, this shit's curdling in my stomach right now. And then someone walks down and goes, oh, I just left that out for 2 minutes. Oh, okay.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah, man.
Oh, God. Yeah, no. So that's where I am with the wine. Now, did you pour yourself a beverage?
That's why people think I keep sipping the coffee, and I'm telling you, folks, I'm not making this up. This is total truth. 9:30 night show. I was thinking about getting a whiskey, but I was on the bubble. I know Jackie will be asleep by the time I get out of here. I mean, so I'll just be alone anyway. Sebastian texts, says he's going with a wine. I send the photo of this beauty. Now, it's called Drunken Bean, and it's coffee whiskey. And I put it right in my decaf, and I put quite a bit in here. And I had a few because you were running late. I've been chugging it. It's like delicious. Now, I got to tell you, and I feel bad about this because I know she wouldn't care, but this is what I did. After you said, you're going with that, I'm going with the whiskey, Jackie's on the couch. Now, there's a little wall, and then like behind the wall is our liquor cabinet. So, and when you open it, it's like glass. And she's got a little ceramic duck hanging on a ribbon on the handle. So when you pull open the liquor cabinet, you hear the duck rattling. And she'd go, what are you doing in there? And then I go, nah, I'm just gonna have a whiskey. And she'd go, you're gonna have a whiskey at this time of night, and then you get into bed. You're not really a whiskey person. I mean, I don't know what it would be, right? So instead of that, I talked to her a little, like, to just chit chat, and then I step out. I slowly take the duck off the hook, and I lay it on the counter. Then I walk back out, chat with her some more. Then a commercial kicked on. Volume went up. I pulled open the liquor cabinet on the commercial, slid the bottle out, slid right in here with it.
No.
Yeah.
Isn't it sad? Listen.
Bro, I'll go wake her up right now and say, Jack, I'm drinking whiskey. Would that make you feel better? I'll do a remote with the show.
I know, but I'm gonna.
No, I wouldn't. I'm gonna say that. I'll call the other.
I'm gonna parallel it to what I go through.
Oh, all right.
Same shit.
Oh, nice. So you're gonna bust my balls.
No. Like, I like this granola cereal in the morning. So it's granola, it's got almonds in it, and it's got some sugar in it and whatnot. And it's probably not the healthiest thing to have, right? But I eat I eat the breakfast, right? Eggs and a little avocado and a little ground up turkey sausage, whatever it is. And I don't know if anybody else is doing this out there, but I have this cereal almost as a breakfast dessert.
Oh, I like that. I like that. Yeah.
So Lana don't like when I eat it because she feels that it's unhealthy and I'll gain weight from it, right?
Right.
So I've had to sneak this fucking thing. Right? I ate it once standing up in the garage, bro. I went into the garage and I ate it. I ate it in the garage. So My question is, at this age, right, being married this long, can't you just kind of just do what you want without a chirping in the background going, what are you doing? And then you gotta explain, I'm having a drink. You're like,
no, man. It's, bro, it's like my dog last year got sick and cost $600 to the vet, And he's like, yeah, it must have been chewing on a damp stick because it was spring. And I go, yeah, he goes out in the woods when I take him, he chews on sticks. He goes, yeah, there's fungus on those. You want to keep? So now, dog runs out there and I'm yelling, get away from those sticks. You can't go near those sticks, And I'm like, that's like what my wife does to me with cookies. You know what I'm saying? And all we're trying to do is, they're just trying to keep us alive a little longer, bro. Can you even count on one finger how many times you ever told your wife that she probably shouldn't be eating something?
We had this happen just before I came up here. A friend of ours over the weekend brought us some freshly baked sourdough bread, and we hadn't tasted it in a while. So Lana's like, should we have a piece? I'm going to have a piece. She's like, I should have a piece. I go, have a piece. I'm like, I'm encouraging the eating, so it's like, it's a piece of bread. What's going to happen,
Yeah. So unbelievable, man. We're like, God, imagine they did that with us.
I know, right? Just making sure this shit's on.
Like if you finish your avocado and you walked away and she's like, you're not gonna have your cereal dessert. And you go, I wasn't good. You go, sit down. Why wouldn't you? The milk is cold. What are you doing? Don't be crazy. You're young. You're gonna be around at least another 10. I'm kidding, guy. You're going long. I know you are.
You're going long. Oh, so that's the. I mean, and again, we're 15 minutes into this thing, and just setting up the table takes 15 minutes, right?
I tell you, man. Every album. It's a comedy album. It really is, man. I get nervous before these things.
Well, I'll tell you, bro. I just posted to the Patreon the video of I'm going to take the listeners through the segments of the construction process of building out the new studio here for the cast.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm really excited to get in there, bro. This thing might be so fantastic. You might have to come out here for a month just to bang out like 30 episodes in the studio with me.
I'm going to LA to do TV. That's what I'm going. That's what it's like. Yeah. I tell you, the minute anyone sees a video though of you starting to like go through renovating your studio, it's like the same thing when you started getting interested in food. All the Food Network stars like, shit, here he goes, gonna do a food show. Now all the people like doing reno shows are like, here comes a Lana Sebastian reno show. Someone's getting bumped.
Hey, you know what? You know what? Everybody else is getting into stand-up that shouldn't be.
Shit, man.
Oh, God, man. I can't take it, though. I mean, I don't want to get on a bitch session with the stand-up shit, but my God. Oh, yeah. Stay in your lane. Just stay in your lane, people. I didn't go into the food space because I was pretending to be a chef or know anything about food. The whole purpose of the show was for me to kind of learn with the audience, right? Okay. Now, if they applied that to the stand-up world where the people would just maybe sit and watch to see how stand-up's done for a little bit rather than getting up on stage. I'm sorry. I can't go down the road, man.
Well, I gotta say, I mean, some of these young guys that I've been working with lately, it's amazing how like they almost like when they tell me what they want to do, one of the things they always say is they go, yeah, and then I gotta make better videos. I gotta be making more videos. And all my years doing stand-up, I mean, I'd go home, I'd write, I'd go over the joke, hey, maybe that'll work. And then I go back that night, do it again and again and again. I wasn't like going, oh, and I got to make video. So it's like, and then if they go to get booked, these bookers are looking at how many followers they have. Like, it used to be, if you're funny or you're not. I heard you're funny. Colin Quinn told me you're funny, and I should have your feature or something. Now it's, nah, he doesn't have enough followers. So I feel bad. It's like the game has changed, so it's watered down stand-up. You know what I'm saying?
No, I totally agree. I mean, just because you have the followers, and I'm not hating the game right now as far as
No, I know you know.
how it's set up. I understand it's a business, and the people have followers from doing particular videos on whether it be Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. You know, pick your social media platform, and then they go and headline a club. And, you know, those followers might come see them. But what the missing for me is the work, the dedication, the repetitions that you need to put in as a comedian to operate at an elevated level. And I don't blame the people that are on the social media for you know, they're getting work. If someone's going to hire them as a headliner, hire them as a headliner. And if you're going to make whatever at the door, a door deal, whatever you're going to make, you know, at the comedy club, you're going to make, fine. But for me, I always looked at it as a bodybuilder, right? Now, am I going to go on stage and take my shirt off just because I brought 300, I could get 300 people to come see me, but I'm not quite there yet as a bodybuilder, right? Yeah. So I'd rather keep my shirt on, right?
Right.
Hit the gym for another 6 to 8 months or whatever it takes,
right,
and then be show ready. These people now, it's like, oh, I've been on TikTok. I could do an hour and a half. I mean, I would love to just see it. If the guy or the girl is fantastic, doing an hour and 15, hour and 20, headlining a show, then all power to them. But my God, for me, it took me 7-10 years to get, you know, material that was equal to the last joke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I 100% I know. And it used to be, I felt like when I was younger, and you'd have that occasional guy that came in or gal and would do headline because they were famous mostly for something else. They did a little stand-up, but they're famous. And they'd have a rough time. They'd pack it, they'd have a rough time, and I used to always think to myself, you know, and look, if I got famous tomorrow and I'm not a funny comic, I'm still going to go and headline and do that. But, man, I sure hope if I'm lucky enough to ever be able to draw a crowd that my act has had time to get there. Because that looks very unpleasant and very nerve-wracking. You know, they're up there like, oh, God, everything has to work. And even if everything works, that means, this, you know, we'll just barely get by. Right there, the openers go long and shit. By the last show, they go up there and just say, good night, thank you.
Well, the problem with that is that people go see it and they go, we ain't going to come back and see this again. You want them leaving going, oh my God, I can't wait to go back. You don't want them going, it's funny, but you know, once is enough, you know. And to get to that point is in my book, repetition and time. There's no substitution for it. There's no way to accelerate this other than those two things: repetition and time.
Yeah. Well, I agree, but if we're going to nitpick, you get the occasional comedian that is just like doing something like so neurotic where they just like, you know, sit still and just say a joke or something where as long as the jokes are great, they can get good. They can get popular quicker because they're not doing all the other stuff that comes along with it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know. I shouldn't even say that because even you take a guy like Stephen Wright who barely moves, the jokes are unbelievable.
Yeah,
but still, there's an art to being able to maintain that character and that confidence in a giant space and still stay so like how he does. You know, so you're right. Time and repetition. Absolutely.
Well, that's the writing there has to be exceptional. If you're going to do that type of comedy where it's kind of set up joke, even Mitch Hedberg, who I love to watch, really creative in his thinking, coming up with jokes. Who wasn't really mobile on stage and just kind of stood behind the microphone. But yeah, I mean, if there's any young comedians listening out there, I mean, not that you're asking for the advice. We just got to this topic just out of organically.
Hedberg was cool too, man. He was like,
I never met the guy.
Well, I met him. He's super, super nice guy. I did a few shows with him in New York and once at like a college somewhere. Super nice guy. But his persona was like Jim Morrison or something, but with, like you said, but like great jokes, such a great writer, but also like real cool, head down, doing a joke off to the side. I'm like looking out at the crowd, practically fucking tap dancing. And he's got the shades on indoors. Yeah, cool guy. So anyway.
Yeah, so that's the piece on that.
Sipping a little water. Oof. Whiskey. Bam.
Yeah. No, sip away, bro. Sip away. I was just at soccer practice with Caruso, and Lana came with Serafina. Serafina generally doesn't come to the practice, but we were there as a family, and it threw Caruso off.
Oh yeah, you think so?
Well, he wasn't participating in the practice. He was on the sideline hanging out with mommy, and it just his whole game was thrown off. And I got upset that he wasn't in the game. And Lana's like, "What? Is this my fault? What did I do? And I'm like, "It's not your fault, but like, I gotta go a couple of times, just me and him."
Yeah.
Because when it's just me and him, he knows there's no one else to go to that's going to hug him. He goes to mommy right away. She hugs him. He comes to me. I look at him. I go, "You get the hell back in there. We paid for this."
Yeah? Right. I hear you. I mean, did you ever see that movie with kids called The Great Santini?
No.
Oh, it was a TV classic. I think it starred Robert Duvall, but he was so hard on his son to be a good basketball player. I'll never forget the scene. The son's going down the stairs and the father's hitting him in the back of the head with the basketball. As he's going down, "What are you doing? You going out with your friends? You going out with your friend?" I mean, your son is, what are we talking, 3, I believe?
Almost
in 3.
June.
I mean, listen, they're still at that age. They're going to run to their mom on the sideline. You gotta, I think, pump the brakes a little bit on that.
Yeah. No, I get hot, bro. I get not angry. I just get warm. I get warm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, but I got to tell you, around that age with Sadie, I remember, same thing. I wanted to, and I'm like, I got to remember how old was I when I remember, my dad starting to go, I remember being in 4th grade and I shot a free throw shooting with my dad and I couldn't reach it. And he kept catching it down here, embarrassed. Instead of catching it here, my air ball, he'd catch it here and go, "You can't reach? It's 10 feet. And he gives me, and I'd heave it more and I couldn't. And he was embarrassed. And that's when it switched from just, "Hey, let's have a catch, nothing matters," to now, "Get your shit together because you suck." So maybe, I don't know if that's organic or if you got to decide on your own. Are you going 2nd grade, 3rd grade? When are you going to be "Now mom can't come"? Now, all right.
Well, it's funny because as I'm sitting there looking at my son play, off in the distance, I see a father and his 9-10-year-old son playing catch football, and they obviously have a coach with them. They hired a coach to teach the son how to throw football, how to drop back, how to read coverage, the whole thing, right?
Oh wow, he must be real deal then.
But then I'm looking at the kid, right, and I'm like, all right, yeah, he could throw the ball, but for you to have a coach at 10, you as the father either go, this kid's a prodigy, he just needs help, or do you go, I'm hiring a personal coach just to train this kid to be good.
That's a good, like, I'm with you. What are you seeing at 10 that makes you say, we got to get it? You go to your wife and go, we got to get a coach for this kid. Like, like, are you looking through the back window and he's like playing two-hand touch with his, it seems awfully, that just seems like maybe it's one of those dads that, like, bro, the Manning brothers, you know how they have the brother Cooper?
Yeah.
His son is a 5-star recruit. He's only a junior this year. Every college wants him. Shit, I think the Jets are probably already in contact with this guy. So, since 3 years old, he'd be watching cartoons, and one of the Mannings would come in the living room going, you're not throwing balls through the fucking tire right now? Get your ass out there and throw balls through the tire. Oh, what do you think? If it's in the blood, I'll kidnap a Manning and inject it into my daughter. You know what I mean? It's the upbringing. This dad you saw is Santini his kid, man.
So I just don't want to miss out on an opportunity if I'm like missing. Like, I feel like
it's a good point.
Sometimes you look at your kid and I go, is she or she got a talent that's buried that I ain't bringing out of them? You know what I'm saying? Like Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
At a young age, was watching his dad just hit balls in the garage or whatever, and then at 2 or 3 picked up a club, and he had the beautiful swing already.
So they say. I know. I mean, I heard that.
Yeah. And then you hear this a lot of times, like, when did you know he was good? And it's like, I don't know, he sat down at the piano and he played Mozart. We didn't even know where he got it from. You hear these stories, right?
You do.
So am I like, have we not given the thing to Serafina and Caruso yet? Where they just pick it up and they're just like
You don't ever grow a garden because you'll be leaning over the dirt after the second day going, nothing, Lon. It's fucking nothing. Just dirt. I mean, these kids, Caruso's not even 3. Serafina just crushed it at a play a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. No, I'm not taking it away from them. I'm talking about the ones who are destined to be who they are. Although Jordan, as a sophomore in high school, did not make his varsity team. So it's not like Michael Jordan, the best player to ever play the game, his sophomore year, he was on the sophomore team. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't excelling at a high rate.
It makes you wonder, like, what happened to the guy who beat him out? Talk about what a drop off, bro. I want, as much as, the piano and this, that, one thing I know, I mean, my kid is good with school, but I know she's not like, I'm never going to come home and see her holding up a test tube and giving it a light flicker with her fingernail. And she's like, Dad, I did some studying with the creek down the block. The water, I found the way to, clean the water so we can all get drinking, the science project kids where you're like, by 8 years old, they're going to MIT and their best friend's going to be Chen and Ling Lu.
Do you remember your science project? Like, do you remember what you did?
I remember the one I did where you one of them I do. It was a thing with a light bulb, I remember. Yeah, why? You remember yours?
Yeah.
Pretty good. I stole operation, basically.
So you did this yourself, or did you have assistance from parents or what have you? I mean, did you do it on your own, or did your dad go, all right, let's go in the garage and do your science project?
Oh, I never did any project without my dad cursing goddamn this, goddamn that behind me as he's helping me. But yeah, making it help better. Yeah.
All right.
How about you?
Well, in the science field, it wasn't really a strong point in my house. My father and my mother were like, science. Yeah. So when it came down to the science project, I go, what should I do? And my mom's like, I don't know. I don't know. Call your cousin, see what she did. I called my cousin, she's coming from the same cut of cloth, right?
Yeah.
She did, what popcorn pops better? An air popper or a microwave? Like what
Right.
Given the time and like the taste and all that,
Right.
what's a better popcorn, right?
It's a fucking segment on the Food Network. I love it. Way better than what I did. I gotta hear this.
So, fuck, bro.
It's great, man.
I remember it was in the multi-purpose room where everybody kind of walked around and the judges had the fucking
Oh my
notepads
God.
and right,
So you're giving like little personal presentations.
bro. They thought I was serving popcorn for the
That's fucking great.
Holy
And coming up to you going, oh, popcorn. Oh, fantastic.
I'm giving out the bags, and they're walking away. I go, wait, no, that's the project. No, that's my sample size.
So everybody's supposed to have one kernel and do a taste
Oh, yeah,
test.
it's supposed to be like a taste test. And then, I know.
Oh, that is hilarious.
Oh, bro, they thought I was the caterer. Oh.
Did you even correct them? Or were you like, fuck it?
It was so like, oh, God, it was terrible.
Judges were eating your project while they were judging the other kids' projects. Fucking eating your project. Oh, that's pretty good. Oh, shit. Oh, man. Makes you cringe when you look back on it, right?
Oh, my God, bro. Man,
Dude, when I was in college, and like, I went to Fredonia, education, Harvard, fucking, So I took, as you did, communications was a major. I had to take public speaking. And one project was he wanted us to come in and we had to give a presentation about something that the class doesn't know about, something that's going on or a place you can go or something that, new and people don't know that we, whatever, anything. Fucking like morning of, I couldn't think of anything, right? So we had a Nerf hoop in my college house. So I took a Domino's pizza box as a backboard and I put the hoop in it. And then I wrote up that a very popular bar game that's gotten popular on Long Island is Nerf hoops. You play horse and this is how it goes. I brought this thing in and I held it up and I'm like, so for example, if you're standing there and I give the ball to one of the students, I go, that would be worth 10 points. And it's like, think about, how everyone shoots pool. This is getting more popular than pool at the bars. Nobody's playing Nerf hoop at Long Island bars. Oh my God. And you're just like, the professor must just be sitting there going, I'm supposed to be at Duke. What the fuck am I doing teaching these yo-yos? You know what I mean, man? Oh, you gotta love the SUNY system, baby.
What the?
6K a year, my college was. 6K. Can't even get a car for that. I mean, you've had restaurant tabs bigger than that, bro. That was my tuition. Oh, yeah, what you paid for.
Oh, God. Same here, bro. My thing was seven. It was 7K. 28 grand, bro. For the whole college, for the whole education.
You can't even get a shed for that these days. No, seriously, a good shed at Home Depot is like 10K. That's 2 years at your school.
Oh God, bro.
That's beautiful.
7K.
Isn't that beautiful?
7K, and my parents were fucking struggling to make that. You know what I'm saying? Like college snuck up on my parents, like
I know.
I was a sophomore. Yeah, I was a sophomore, and they were like, "What? College?"
I love the fact that they didn't have that like in the cards for you. Like, he's doing better than I grew up in Sicily in the hills. He's going to college. No, you come in 10th grade, and he's like, what? I thought you were just going to cut hair with me forever. What the fuck are you talking about?
He goes, I'm saving for a cosmetology school. It's $1,000 for 8 months.
Oh my God, bro. Too funny, man. Shit.
So what do you got?
Way, just a little side note, and then back to you. A listener emailed me recently and said, 2 different ones emailed me and said, I think like cast 100 and some, episode 100 and some of the cast, you were talking about trying to have kids. This is before Serafina. And I said, all I know is if you ever have a boy and he plays soccer, which you will, you're the guy who's going to bring a charcuterie plate to the game. Do you believe that guy?
I saw that, bro. I don't know if that was, I saw that. I don't know if that someone tweeted it at me or whatnot, but I saw what you're talking about. And I don't know if that had that buried in the back of my brain somewhere and then retrieved it when it was time. But how ironic is that? 5-6 years ago, we talked about a charcuterie plate at soccer practice. And 2 months ago, I had one there. I mean, that's beautiful.
Do you worry now? Because Caruso, and I'm not just saying this because we're friends, he's clearly a good-looking kid, right? Now, if he's already running over to mom at almost 3 years old, I'm a little worried about an attractive girl in the stands during a big game as he gets older. You know what I'm saying?
Caruso's the type that would have a girl on the bench with him. Like, just bring her down, like, just like wave her down, like, just come sit here. Yeah, what are you doing up there? Come down here.
Sit down here. Gotta get up close, watch me play.
Oh God. But man, what the hell was I gonna tell you? Charcuterie. Yeah. So, what are some of the questions you got over there? You said you had some questions.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because we were just kind of talking about this. I wrote down a couple things I wanted to ask you about. What's your take on when athlete wins something, Super Bowl, any kind of championship, golf, anything, wife comes out on the field, court, whatever it is, for the big kiss? You cool with that? You got a take on that? Because I'll just be honest, it bothers me a little bit. I feel like it's not the
if you look at 1985. Chicago Bears win the Super Bowl in New Orleans. They heave up Ditka and Buddy Ryan on their shoulders, and they take them off the field. And I could be mistaken. I have to go look at the tape. I didn't see one family member on the field. They celebrated as a team. And that was that. I didn't see any kids with earmuffs and shit on the field, on the podium with the kid.
Right.
At the press conference, they bring the kid on the lap. This is something that's happened within the last 10, 15 years. Now, here, I'll give you this, and you tell me if it's the same. You got to be honest, though.
All right.
I have brought, for the forum, I brought Lana up on stage.
It's the same.
And it very well could be.
I don't know. I mean, it's a performance. It's a tad difference for sure. There is.
Well, at the end of the show, how I did it was I said, listen, I come out here night in, night out. I always get, the applause, the adulation, and the appreciation from the fans, which I appreciate. But I wouldn't be able to do this without the woman at home holding down the fort while I'm out here, and sometimes she don't hear what I hear. So I brought her out and said, I want to bring my wife out here and give her the recognition that she deserves, right? So it was put in that way. Now, I could very well see where you could say it's the same shit. Just leave the family off the fucking field, the stage, right?
Well, how about like 3 a.m., you're stranded on a highway, AAA guy shows up, fixes you flat, and you're like, oh, man, thanks for being here at 3 a.m., I appreciate it. And he's like, actually, I'm going to call my wife. I want you to get on the phone and thank her because she's sleeping. She's the one sleeping in a cold bed tonight. That's right? I mean, it's the same sort of thing, man.
It is the same sort of thing. I give it to you. And you know what? It aggravates me when I see athletes with their kid at the podium answering questions after a big game. I just don't see the purpose for that. Although, on the flip side, I've had my kids up on stage for a big picture at, an arena. I wanted to share that moment with my family. Like, I could show Caruso when he turns 21 or whatever. Hey, Millie, I got this photo when you were 1 year old and, we did Madison Square. Whatever the hell it is, right?
Right.
I think that's different, though, a little bit than, like, answering questions at a news conference about what you do and your kid is playing Angry Birds on the iPhone. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, when the kid, it's like no one can watch the kid off to the side. It's not even like he's wide-eyed looking out like, my daddy's a champion. He's just waiting to go. He's waiting to go home. Yeah. And more than the kids even, it's just that right, for me, it's the right after the moment when the guys are sweaty and, Oh, by the way, like when the women win the soccer championship at the WNBA, I don't see any husbands running out there doing a hug and a make out, right? I mean, everyone be like, give the lady a moment. So, and he's like, so it's in that moment. And I remember seeing one of my favorite actresses, cutie patootie, that's why, Ashley Judd. She used to be married to a Formula One driver. Tumultuous relationship based on the tabloids, on and off. And then they were eventually off. But I remember him winning. I was in my hotel and watching, and he won the Indy 500, right? And she's in the winner's circle trying to, like, do the hug and kiss with him. And I'm like, is he blowing her off? I feel like he doesn't want her in there right now. Like, And I think they were done a month after that. So I think she was all over him in the winner's circle. And she knew the clock was ticking. She's like, I'm going to be a part of this because this may be my last time,
Oh, see, it takes someone with your, real specific observational skill set to even notice something like that, right? Because that's what I'd be looking for, too, is like, do you want her there? He goes, here.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan. Let's go to Michael Jordan, right?
Yeah.
His father was in the locker room with him celebrating when he won the championship, right? Father and son.
Makes sense.
Why?
It's like he was the one who taught him how to play, and like he's been a part of it, I mean, I'm talking about the guy who's like been a 3-time All-Star before he even meets his girlfriend. And then 2 years later, she's jumping out of the stands like, I believed in you. I'm on my second contract before I even met you. Believed in you. So like when I see the girl that was with the guy or vice versa from like high school or something, different. Even in tennis, you see that husband in the crowd looking down. He's been the one throwing her the balls at night. They've been doing it together. That's the difference to me.
All right, bro.
Yeah.
I didn't even know Michael Jordan had kids until recently. I didn't even see that. I didn't see the wife, the kids. They were nowhere near. Nowhere near him.
No. Back then, no, none of them did, right? Larry Bird. I mean, I don't know what he got. They have photos of Larry Bird. He was already like a 3-time All-Star, and he's on a drive-on Toro lawnmower doing his front lawn, house to the left, house to the right. So, like, they just didn't like bring it to the game. It was a different time, right?
Oh man, yeah, I know. It was a different time. What else? What else you got on that little pad?
They're probably getting rid of daylight savings. How do you feel about that?
I'm for it, bro. Where you at on this?
Bro, I'm tired of all this change. I'm tired of shit changing. Everything's changing. Now they're changing the clocks on us. Don't listen, I know everybody hates losing that hour, right? Like that just happened. It's aggravating, you know? But oh man, don't you love getting that hour back every year? It's so like you just forget and you're like, oh, I got that hour. Oh, it's so pleasant.
It's for one day, number one. One day you get the hour, right?
Mm-hmm.
My question to you is this law, whatever they're going to do here. The time it is right now, so it's going to stay this way or it's going to stay an hour back?
I read 2 articles about this with my college degree. I still can't figure that out. I can't. I go, which way is it going to stay? To stay it is now? Because they keep going, because we want winters to not be as dark or as early. I'm like, all right, so what is that? I'm trying to do the math on that. So what does that mean? Is that the other way or this way? You know?
I'm feeling I got this same problem you got. Simple things like that, I can't even figure out in my head. Going, okay, if they wanted to stay darker, does that mean like I can't even like wrap my head around that concept?
My brain stops because I start to do it. My brain goes, "Fuck it, we don't even have to do this." And I'm like, "You're right, we don't." It quits on me. You know what I mean? Because it starts to get like. It's like, you know, like driving a car and it hits 85 and you're like, whoa. I was really thinking hard there. I was thinking hard. Whew. And then you almost have it, then you're out of it. But anyway, I think it's probably the other way, right? But I'm not sure.
No, I think it's this way. It's going to stay lighter longer in the evening.
You're right. I think that would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah, and which I'm fine with. I'm fine with this type of environment. I'm cool with it.
I don't have to
do the
man. Yeah.
This is going to be a longer day.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing better to me than it's like 7:30, 7:45. And it's still light out, but you're still seeing like lightning bugs. It's not, you know, you still get lightning bugs in Fredonia? This is something that.
Yeah.
Okay. They don't got them out here on the West Coast.
Oh, we got them right on our porch. We get one of the best shows you can get, man. Got a bunch of Pachysandra and they're just popping everywhere for like 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah. We don't get it out here. I remember back home in Chicago, man, it was beautiful. Nightfall came and then you start seeing the light. You're like, oh shit. And then when one fell to the floor or whatever, then you took your foot and you scraped the fucking lightning bug and you got that like neon light on the sidewalk.
Yeah, that was our version of sidewalk chalk when we were kids, man. That and a nice moth. Yeah. I used to put them in a jar, let them light up. You know, everyone used to do that. And they're just so much more beautiful than any other bug. Like, to be able to do that, and no other bug is sniffing that talent. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to light up, if I was another bug, I'd be like, what the fuck is that? That's insane. You're lighting up? Shit. And can they do that when they want? Can they like do a longer hold? Like I'm going with a 3-second this one just to blow their mind. I'm going, you know, or is it just they don't even know they're doing it? I don't know.
That's a good question. Does the lightning bug see a cricket and look down and go, hey, and then just like,
can he control the wattage? That's what you're asking. I love it. Just drive by and give him a light up. Oh God,
bro. Oh my God. And here's another question. Does the light wear off? Like as they get older, when they, when they're towards the end of their life, are they like trying to squeeze out one and it's just dim?
Right. Like it goes, when I was 2, you could read a newspaper off of this fucking with the light I fire up. Now you can't even see a hand in front of your face. I got nothing left. That's a good question. And
Oh God.
man, just a lot. Because what if yours doesn't light up? I would wonder, are you even aware of that? Are you like, my shit's not light? What's going on? Fascinating, man.
Oh God.
That's the kind of stuff.
God, I hope this is on. I get nervous when gold like this is just a possibility of not being recorded. Oh God. No one's talking about lightning bugs, bro.
Now, the other day, I gotta ask you this, right? The other day, I just happened to be home when the mailman was coming up with the mail. So I do the pop out. Hey, how you doing? And I grabbed the mail, and I felt, and I normally don't do that, I felt like he didn't like that. I felt like he was like, just let me put it in the box, get off the porch, you can come out and get it. And normally, like Amazon or anyone, even if I'm there, as long as I don't need a signature, I ghost. I've done the up against the wall, like someone's about to serve me a warrant, I don't want them to see it. And then when they leave, I come, what's your take? If you're there and they're there, do you come out and just take it right from them, or do you let them leave it and then come out?
I've often felt this way with the mailman, because when the mailman comes up to the mailbox, he's got some time. He's got to get your gas bill together. He's got to get the flyer from Bed Bath & Beyond. He might got to get a rubber band, wrap that up, and then feed it into the box. Now, I feel if you're out there already, but you're talking about a walk-up guy, right? You're talking about a guy. Okay, so he's probably got it ready in his hand to throw in the box. Generally speaking, I had a guy who was in a truck, and sometimes when he pulled up, I'd be right there by the mailbox, and I go, "Hey, how you doing?" And he would look like, motherfucker, almost like he was under pressure to gather the shit together to give it to me. I feel like the mail people want to work solo. They don't need you coming out to the thing and going, "Hey, thank you." They want to just slip it in the box. And if they're listening to a podcast, they could, on your porch, maybe flip through and get to another podcast. Now, the guy was probably planning on maybe I'll switch to another song, but now I can't use his porch because now he's out there. That's how I feel.
I agree. I think because I see them all now, headphones on. I feel like they lock up, headphones on, they bundle everything at the office, and then they go. And to your point, when I go out and I have a little thing with him, in his head, he's like, "Guy, do you realize if every house did what you just did, I wouldn't get home till 9:30 at night?" Get the hell, right? Now, when I grew up, did you know your mailman's name when you were growing up?
I did, only because my mother knew the guy's name. And it was pretty much the same guy. And we knew when it was a different guy because we'd go out to the mailbox and the mail wasn't there, right? So anytime the mail wasn't there at 3 o'clock, my mom would come in and go, "They must got another guy. The mail ain't there."
Right? We had a guy named Jerry my whole childhood. "Hey, Jerry," pull up with the door. And it was a much more communal, they were part of your community. Yeah. Whereas now, I feel like they're don't even come out. And nothing against them, man. And nothing against them. I just feel like it's just how they're doing it now. So I don't know.
It's a random. You could get a random. There's like 7 or 8 people working the damn shift now, right? Because either one called out, one quit, the high turnover.
Yeah, that's true. I don't have the same guy all the time anymore now.
No,
that's a good point. I got one more question I want to ask you.
Yeah.
So I had a guy's Johnny's Tree Service. They cut trees down. The guy's unbelievable. I had him do a tree years ago. And he's hard to get because he's high in demand. He's great. So I get him out to the house, I want to say about almost a year ago, to do a quote on a few different trees. Then he quotes me. I'm not looking for anyone else's quote. I'm going to go with him. But I didn't call him right back. Then I never got around to it. Now, a year later, I'm calling him and I'm leaving some messages and I'm not hearing back from him. Now, do you think if you're a business person and you come in and you give a quote and then that person doesn't get back to you, and then they do a year later, are you blowing them off? If you know, are they on the bottom of your totem pole? Like, do you think I'm feeling the repercussion of not calling back?
Depends if this guy is book solid, slam busy. And it also depends how big the job is. But I would guess if this guy is popular and you're calling him now, because his business might have changed over the last year. You know what I'm saying? He might be double the business. He's got a few guys now working for him, and now you get a call from him. You're like, hey, fine, I can't take this guy's job. But you should get a call. You should get a call back saying, hey, I can't do the job. I'm slammed.
Yeah, but this guy, even the first time I hired him, he's like Ricky Henderson. He calls himself in the third person. He's like, Johnny's. I go, I got a huge tree. He goes, Johnny's never seen a tree he couldn't get down without a crane. I don't need a crane. So he would always call.
Wait, the guy's name is Johnny, and he's referring to his business going, Johnny's never seen.
He's in my driveway, and I'm like, nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. Heard a lot about you. My brother-in-law used him. My brother goes, the guy's unbelievable. He goes, but he's wild. My brother-in-law goes, I came home. He was cutting down a huge pine tree for me. He goes, I came home from work, and he had gotten the entire pine tree down now except the trunk, and he was about 50 feet up, standing on a trunk of a pine tree with nothing else, and a chainsaw in his hand. And he's like, we're getting there, man. We're getting there. Like, whoa, you know? So
is this guy's name Johnny?
His name is Johnny, and when I hired him, first time he came to my house, and I'm showing this giant tree to him, and I go, I know it's close to the house. I don't know if you get a crane or what you do. And he looks up my tree and he goes, Johnny's never seen a tree he couldn't get down without a crane. Johnny doesn't use cranes. I'm like, all right, Johnny, so, which is, it's a bold move, man. It's a memorable move when you do that. Ricky Henderson was the only other person who I know who did it for the A's.
Well, how would Ricky Henderson do it?
After the game, if he went like 2 for 4 with a home run, he'd go, Ricky played good today. Ricky had a good game today. Ricky was feeling it. Did you talk to Ricky? Is that what Ricky told you?
Oh, God.
So, and then when Johnny hired me, I had to go out to his truck, and he goes, Johnny wants to show you something. And I go out there, and he opens it up, and he's like, this is Johnny's tree service. And it was like booked. Everything booked. All in pencil, this guy just keeps it simple.
Yeah, this guy, he got no time for you, man.
Yeah, I blew it. It's like the soup guy, the soup Nazi, and then you go, what do you got? And he goes, broccoli and cheese, and you go, I'll come back next week, see what you got then. He's like, you're never coming back.
Yeah, no, you're done.
Yeah. How long we been going?
Oh, God, what do we got? We're at hour and 3. This is stellar.
It's a Vegas show. Seriously. I don't even need white tigers.
Oh, God. Got to thank everybody for listening to Pete Sebastian Show. Now, those of you that are on the Patreon, we really appreciate. Off to a great start, bro. Off to a great start.
Awesome.
You almost want to give them more episodes, just based on the interest of what's going on over there.
I'm making videos. I made a video today and again, this is what I really like about Patreon too. It's something that if you want to sign up, you sign up. If you don't, you don't. But if you do, I feel comfortable doing and giving some extra stuff, like behind the scenes. I literally walk them through how I pack each shirt. It's unbelievable. I literally say on the video, I'm like, if Henry Ford was still alive, he would fucking patent my packing system for the car.
Bro, you're giving it away,
bro. Shit. It's a taste. It's a taste.
It's a taste of what you get on Patreon. So, for those of you who don't know, we are on Patreon. $5 a month. You get an extra episode. You get. I didn't even tell you this, bro. Show topics. People could send in topics that they want us to discuss, and we'll bring it up on the show on Patreon. So that's another additive incentive. We could either do it on Patreon or Patreon. I don't know how you say it, but we're up on there. We got some great listeners already. So make sure you sign up for that. And that's it, bro. That's a wrap here. I'm going to have another glass of wine and some sushi with my wife.
All right, man.
I'll see you next week, bro.
Good hanging, bro.
Yeah.
All right.
Good hang.